that's a long story, but so I mentioned that I was an executive at Fox, and I was obsessed with Predator. Really wanted to do another Predator movie, and talked about how, oh well, let's do this. Yeah, let's do it on an alien planet, and let's make it like some safari and hunt and all that stuff. And I remember there were a couple of writers that I talked to who all basically willing to do it for free, and it just wasn't the right time. There wasn't the right climate because we just did Alien Resurrection, which didn't quite work, and Predator 2 also did not perform. So and that was a few years back, but still somewhat fresh in their memory. So it's like you got Alien, the new Alien movie didn't work. Predator, how can you really do it without Arnold? Is it sustainable without Arnold? And Arnold is tied up doing other things and all that stuff. So that sort of never materialized. So even though there were some ideas that I had that ended up being part of this whole universe and part of this whole journey, and certainly the passion for it was born then, but never quite materialized. So then and what is this? '05, right, is when I was making the transition. What I'm very fond of is keeping a creative journal. So any kind of idea that comes into your head, you put it there and you store it for safekeeping. For whatever reason, in '05, I was like, wouldn't it be great to do a Predator movie where it's, well, I guess I can say what this is kind of the big deal is. It's Predator versus Predator, right? So I'm like, Predator versus Predator. That would be so fucking cool. But of course, I am, just a, I think at this point I haven't even sold my first script. I was just about to write my first script, so I'm like, of course I'm a nobody. Sort of goes in the same file as, wouldn't it be a great idea for a Bond movie, right? Yeah, great. So, but then, cut to, I, became a writer, and at that point I've done 3 projects in television, and I just sold my first feature. And I actually, at that point, and then I heard that there was interest from Fox to revive the Predator franchise after having done 2 Alien vs. Predator movies. So my agent reached out to Fox, and I had 2 meetings with a company called Davis Entertainment. John Davis is one of the producers on Predators. So, and this idea that sort of became the backbone of the movie, which I pitched to them, was kind of crystallizing. There was this whole sort of take that I had, which again they were not fully comfortable with, because the idea of going to the stars, which is where I really wanted to go, was kind of like, well, both Predator movies have been set on Earth. It seems like that would be that would be the place to do it. Also, again, well, okay, so we're gonna do it without Arnold, but it's so kind of Predator centric, and the introduction of a new Predator, so they sort of wrestled with this, and they asked me to reset it back on Earth, and came back and pitched the idea, pitched the version which was set back on Earth. But again, they weren't sort of fully wrapping their head around it, so it never materialized. And then in beginning of '09, I sold a script called Medieval, which I mentioned earlier, which was a very, very big sale and kind of put me into the next rung of the ladder. And at that point, Fox, the conversation about reviving Predator has sort of continued in the meantime. And another piece that has happened, they attached Robert Rodriguez. Because Robert Rodriguez, back in the day, in I think like 92, 93, like fresh off El Mariachi and Desperado, he wrote a script which was part of the Predator universe. So that's when they realized, oh, holy shit, we have a Robert Rodriguez script, and the script was kind of behind the time. I mean, it's like 15 years later or whatever. But they liked the idea of kind of reinventing that Predator franchise with Robert. So, and at the same time, they also read Medieval, so they became aware of myself, and Mike Finch, and they were like, oh, these guys would be perfect. Do you guys were interested? That's when I go, interested? Do you guys know how far back I go with Predators? Not only I was at Fox, trying to revive this franchise, not only, last year I ran around saying, hey, how about we do Predator in outer space? So I have this whole take, and then so and that was, we got plugged into it very quickly. Met with Robert, and he wanted to do exactly he wanted to go into the stars. He wanted to do the kind of the outer space version. Loved the idea of introducing new Predator, and so kind of off of that we went off and did it. I would say it was a very, very intense writing process, simply because we basically had no script, and we had a release date. we had I think this was going down April of last year, April, May of last year, because we were in Austin around May, and the movie's coming out July. We had no script. We were starting production in the fall. So, and then a lot of grueling rewrites with on our own, and with Robert's input, the studio's input. Then they brought in a director named Antal, who did a movie called Control with a K, which is a really wonderful movie, and did a movie called Armored, which came out last year. So his input, I mean, as I'd like to think, the whole thing was really the script that people, the closest thing to the movie was written in 10 days, where we had to, we just turned our first draft, but it was also much bigger than the studio wanted to, so we had to kind of scale down, and really the big changes came in that 10-day period, where we basically set, I think in the office of 20th Century Fox for 10 days straight, and just wrote. Now you asked me how, in terms of the fans, well, first of all, you are keenly aware of it, but you're a fan yourself, so you are not kind of going out there going, what are they thinking? You're more thinking, what am I thinking? And what would please me as a Predator fan? And yeah, I mean, you this one, I think you fight a little tougher, just because, everybody was very cognizant that what we're trying to kind of honor the legacy of the movie that kind of everybody has a very fond spot for, and the last Predator movie really did not work, and can we do something that sort of, I don't know, atones for it a little bit, atones for Alien vs. Predator movies and all that stuff. So I don't know, let's see if we've succeeded or not.